Howdy everyone! Welcome to the first battle of the campaign for the, I forget the name of the DLC, but it's the Panther DLC for Gravity Tactics. You'll figure it out. This one concerns the battle for Korotich, and here we have the 1st SS Panzer Division defending what is at this point the northern part of a salient. We've been enveloped to the east along over here. We're being enveloped to the west along here. All that stands in the way is one plucky infantry regiment, another much more plucky reconnaissance platoon, and a couple of not quite as plucky but still very deadly Tiger tanks attached to that reconnaissance platoon, if I remember correctly. And so yeah, without further ado, I have a, how do I put it, a little defensive plan in place here. The briefing states that the Russians are going to be making strong strikes from the west and north towards Kharatish Central right here. So the center of the northwestern point of the church. In pursuant of defending those, I have stationed an infantry company over on the left flank with some martyrs to guard the open area. And another infantry company is sort of holding this area over here with some reconnaissance troops out front to prevent any major push. The blacked out squares are places that cannot be taken as far as the scenario is concerned, so we definitely want to hold Korotich and the church in this area if we can. If we can't, we want to concentrate on holding this area pretty much at all costs, otherwise we will be somewhat outmaneuvered through force. It's a bad word for that. So in order to get eyes on this Russian push from the north, I've stationed some reconnaissance troops over here. They're going to make sure they don't come through here and try and flank us down here. Though our defensive plan, the special portions, we have 2 Tiger tanks overlooking this ridge over here who are going to dig in. And a guest appearance by several Panther tanks, who actually I think are actually intrinsic to the formation. Those Tiger tanks are making their guest appearance. To the south of the church, we have a reserve area. This area is covered by a lot of AT guns, but right here we have a reserve area. I have 2 Panthers in reserve, a bunch of machine guns. Here's the reserve Panthers. And around Korotich Center is where I have my final line of defense, which has the 88s facing down the roadways, long open paths of fire for those 88s, which will be reinforced by Panthers to go where the trouble happens. As far as artillery is concerned, we've got quite a bit of it. Most of our artillery is set up for point defense fire, which means that if a position is overwhelmed, the final thing that will happen before the position is completely overwhelmed is artillery fire will be called down directly on top of it, preserving their retreat. The artillery is preset for 5-minute volleys, so the number of shots should be around 5 to 7-ish minutes, which should give our guys enough time to skedaddle back to wherever they're going. The one special artillery thing I have out here is these 4 times 10.5 centimeter 105 cannons that are aimed over at Korotich, which are set to burn this little objective if it turns. I'm just going to drop incendiaries on it, and following my standard doctrine for incendiary fire, I will fire incendiary weapons initially, and then fire high explosive afterward to scatter the incendiary everywhere we can. Which actually is quite effective. You can set a whole darn village on fire. It's how I always destroyed Fedorovka in the main campaign. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started. That's basically the entire outline. It's a little defense in depth. Whew, foggy. It's not great. It's not terrible. And yeah, these boys are all dug in proper. I've got them sort of hidden up here in the bushes. I'm just checking around to make sure I don't have any special orders I want to give people. Making sure everyone's got trenches and such that I thought would have trenches. Yeah, okay, these guys got their trenches. These guys have their trenches. I like the trenches now show up on the map. That's right, that's who I had. This reconnaissance unit. I'm trying to think if I want to do a reconnaissance rollout towards the front or not. Either way, they're sitting far to the left. Actually, yes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them dismount. Reconnoiter here. I want them in a straight line, sparse, density, slow movement, cancel order. Over and a button. Yeah, fast. So what I'm going to have them do is so that they align themselves properly. We'll do that. And the order wheel here, you just right click on an order and you can modify it. Alright, and that should get them doing the thing. And that should just keep us informed if anyone tries to flank around to the left. But otherwise, we are pretty well dug in. I like these tiger positions. Hope the fog lifts soon. 7 in the morning. Battle runs for 1 hour. Who is, okay, so a support company and a pack. Oh yeah, okay, these are the, this is the main command line in the back. So yeah. And here's the rough outline of the platoons. We'll probably be sitting in this mode. I will likely skip forward until we start getting sound contacts. Alright. Alrighty, everyone, welcome back. Not much has happened beyond a couple of T-70s rolled up and a Panther demolished them. The Ruiner has just made contact with the enemy as this Panther is rolling up here to defend, at least help out with that. Looks like some sort of assault is going to develop over here. Likely needs some kind of help holding it. Korotich has been more or less destroyed by our own artillery. Most of the buildings are intact, but I say more or less destroyed. It's been ruined, definitely. This section here, for sure. No one's going to live there comfortably. But the main concerning thing is all the noise of tanks out here. However, most notably, the mist is starting to lift. and it has kicked off a couple firefights. Now we can actually see the enemy. Oh shit, they're a lot closer to me than I thought they'd be. Yeah, see, there's a Molotov cocktail in front of the He's way closer to the enemy than it's supposed to. Hopefully none of this sets him on fire, but the Russians are very good in close assault. Brunner may be overrun. Yeah, Brunner is running with 5 men left of his supposed platoon. I am pulling my Panther back. Basically at maximum speed. Okay. The good news there, I suppose, if you're desperate for good news, is, however, we can use this information to build ourselves a small, newish defensive line. Also, Bruno's gonna have to do a fighting retreat as he bravely runs away in his newly scorched Panther. Optics must be terrible on this thing. Doing fine, actually. Alright, anyone you can get out of there, get out. But looking a bit trapped right now. Those Molotov cocktails, they do a number. And I think that was, in fact, Brunner himself. Yep. No, Lieutenant Brunner just took a Molotov to the face. Those 5 are needed. Where you're at. Okay. Time to grab those MG42s out of reserve. And the enemy forces, yeah, to Korotich. I have a point fire for that. Shots per gun, 140. Didn't wait 5. Fire another 140. Might be a bit excessive, actually. It's 5 minutes of fire. If anything, that will prevent the Russians from being explode. I'm gonna have Bruno's men garrison. If they can, they're being hit by a lot of grenades and other stuff. And that should be, if there's a point defense fire. Other than that, though, see if these reconnaissance units see anything. But they might be under the gun soon enough themselves. Still, I have ordered them to stay as small as they can. And they are staying real small. And they've got some areas to run to. And if they have to run, they will run. I'll run up to Korotich, east. And then back behind maybe the bridge point. Alright, some fighting developing up from Olds. These are my least accurate shell. So good luck, boys. Hope you don't get hit. Bruner has been effectively wiped out. There are some left. Not nearly enough. Some riflemen are holding out desperately, but I mean, I think it might literally just be, yeah. Fired his MG from the window. Holding out to the last man. Didn't want to lose that platoon, though. And now they're punching up my unprotected center. No. Ooh, that was almost bad. Almost gave an order to everyone to you can hold here. I'm going to have Marks move over here and try and cover this road. Around here. Should be protected on the left. Infantry building should cover. Doesn't reflect it. Artillery seems to have landed on target regardless of its actions. Flak cannons, though, are taking a bit. Marks is in a good position. At least I believe he is with his line of sight. Beautiful. That at least cuts across this line to let us know if someone pops out. And now, with the early morning mists lifting, the Russians have about 30 minutes left to make a pretty big push into this. just have them start preparing to fight that immediately. There's one man left in the Bruner's platoon. Literally one man. He can figure it out. Position's actually fairly good because it gives us a decent line of sight down Fromholds also, or Fromholds. So if they get rushed by T-34s, we might be able to hold this position. Those 105s are about to run out though. Don't exactly have shells for days. Yeah, I'm gonna save my shells. That's 60 shells in barrage. We have 2 days left. Cancel that. We can fire that. 4 minutes until that starts falling. Hopefully they're still there. It should be. I want that MG set up in the building, not out front.
Feindliche Infanterie! Ivan im Anmarsch!
It's not a terrible spot for the MG, I guess. I definitely think Moore has a better position, but that's mostly because he's a Panther. Scorched, really scorched that one a lot, huh? Must have sucked. Alright, let's see. Is this 231?
Weiter Feuer!
Oh yeah, so that's a company platoon designation. I've always known the numbers were related, but were like true designatory numbers, but I always kind of wondered exactly how. I'm just taking a quick look at everyone else, making sure everyone's getting in their trenches properly. Wish we had more Pack 40s. We've got a bunch of Pack 36s, which are fine. They have 75s. I believe there's 7. Oh, artillery. No, there it is. That's the push. Alright, we've got the manpower to stop this. Gonna move this over here to try and contain them from pushing through here. I'm trying really hard not to get my Tigers engaged in city fighting. They're just so much better at range. The Panthers, I'm willing to push into it because they have decent frontal armor for the whole thing. and a faster loading 75, they can be okay at mid-range. If you're willing to sacrifice a few of the better traits. But also, they're just maneuverable. They're kind of good at everything. Yeah, it looks like we have punched that main assault right in his Marx has eaten quite a few Molotovs. Do I have any spare infantry for that? I really don't. They're bulking up on that house. Alright, Ooh, you need to come over here and contain the situation. Oh, people got shot. Marx is doing okay right now. That was probably what those noises were. Sounds of all the town buildings inside. This flak gun is sticking pretty good, despite having been situated basically inside a couple main pushes by artillery. Alright. It is time to call. It's time to phone a friend. Nagel and who can I spare from where? Alright. From Holtz, if you come here and just find a way to hold that. Oh, thank God. I thought that was Mark's. Oh shit, that's a T-34, isn't it? That's just another T-7. I am so terrifyingly convinced a T-34s are going to start rolling through all of a sudden. Track is gone. T-34 burnt out. Did we hit these guys with artillery? Was that us? I know what I said about tag team stuff over there. I have changed my mind. There. Something's about that. I could feel the battle rolling from this side to that. There it is. Something's getting shot at. They're shooting back at... Well, at this point, something. Something is shooting at something. I see dead bodies, and... Yeah, it looks like we called in that artillery right on top of them. That probably disrupted that attack and took some of the wind out of it for a bit. And Nagel's 29 men will be a nice little boost to almost double the number of men in front of those guys. Untitled Chapter. Opening the hatch to get a bit of sun. Can't blame him, I would too. It's gotta be miserable in one of these things. Someone started shooting. It's a crewman trying to repair his tank. It's a bold strategy, considering that's the city you're assaulting. But I guess we've been shot at you recently. Suppose we rolled forward to write out green flare. Green flare means attack, I think. Mortars are starting to... How many more to go? 50? I need Korotich to get up over here. Nagel, Korotich, what the hell? It's more Russian than anything. I'm just gonna put him to defend that area. He'll have to figure it out. Bold strategy. I'm gonna push forward and get that last T-70 and then take that truce. I think Marks may have just killed the T-70. What's that? Is that a... That's gotta be an Untitled squad back. Yeah, that's the type. No, that's one of the packs. Coming on. We'll let them come on for a bit longer. Marks hasn't got him yet, but he's aiming. That's not a fight they're gonna win. Vehicle's about to get trapped. Come on, blast them while they're all in the tank. What was that? That was one of the packs. If that was one of the Tigers, you'd be in 4 pieces right now. I'm gonna push Marks up to here. And yeah, that back 270's gone. I guess Raid'll I'll push up a bit more. Once we get those guys, we will call it. Taking out the enemy's reconnaissance formations will probably be very worth it. Just if anything, it will force me to go into the other tanks first. Those are things which could be very beneficial for us. Not too much to see here, to be honest. Panther hunts T-70s. But, we'll let it play out. That one went in. He's got to be dead from that one. Yeah, straight through the front. Marks, how are you doing? We'll have Marks head on back down the line. Looks like this was a reconnaissance push, just to see what we've got. Reconnaissance push with a lot of artillery. I will. I'm not terribly surprised. We'll call it there for that. Go to the operational menu and see what else there is. A bit of scattered fighting. Not really an assault. If anything, just a Russian squad. But we certainly haven't lost any territory. Not with a couple platoons of tanks wandering the city. It says total defeat, but it's likely because of the light forces engaged. Yeah, we lost one platoon. Lost, looked like 2 trucks. We control the same amount of territory. This was just a small reconnaissance push. Total defeat just means they figured out who we are. That was not a very big secret. Not to mention, well, it might tactically count as a defeat because of some points or something. We did manage to destroy a very strong reconnaissance arm of their division. And that should play out fairly well for us. Yeah, looks like those are some rifle regiments. Over here is where we may see the real interesting fight. As I don't have a whole lot of infantry over here. But I do have, what is this? 3, 4. So I have four platoons of Panthers, a couple SDKFZs, slight smattering of reconnaissance infantry, just enough to let us know where to send all those guys, and like 4 Tigers, 3 Tigers. We got quite an armored battle coming up. If there's tanks here, which if I remember correctly, the armored brigades are trying to push us from the east and the west. This is likely going to be one big armored slugfest. So check out that one. That's going to be interesting. I'll see you all in the next part. Till then.